All right, folks, we are back with the second half of this RXFL all-important battle with the postseason hopes and dreams of the Huskies and the Redwoods riding on this game. We had a super interesting first half, so if you didn't get a chance to see it, we encourage you guys to do so. If you're watching on YouTube, this one was uploaded yesterday. If you're watching on Twitch, you'll get a chance to watch the replay. You can watch early and ad-free at patreon.com/TBSports27. We're starting to do an early upload schedule for those of you that want to catch the VODs before they're uploaded on YouTube, since we're about 2 months ahead of schedule here. Alvin Kamara, who was injured in the first half, now getting back into the mix here in the second half. But Billy Sims and Cannonball did a heck of a job in relief here. So Lamar Jackson's made some circus-like plays, and there was no escape in that one. He took a massive sack. I need to bring up my my call sheet here.
You can't really max protect, can you? No, you cannot. What you're hoping is that by going 5 wide, you're forcing the defense into coverage. And if you do that, you get a chance to find some people downfield. But if they audible themselves and go into a blitz, then it's got to happen
54. Wayne Walker on the side. I didn't have any of my stuff pulled up. What do you want? All right, 3rd and 12. It's going to come down to a war of attrition between these two teams. Jackson. Oh, he's made a couple of those kind of plays, and he connects with Anquan Bolden. Jackson's had a lot of plays where he's been on the run, and he's able to make the throw on the run and connect with one of his guys deep. He's been most successful with Fred Biletnikoff in that respect. But my goodness, Lamar Jackson. And here goes Jackson again, but this time he's got all the running room in front of him. Block is picked up, and then he gets shoved out of bounds there by Ricky Jackson. Right in front of those RXFL film cameras right there. Still got 2 big games coming up in Week 16 of the RXFL, and then Week 17, there you go, Anquan Bolden, touchdown. How about that opening drive? 3 touchdown passes for the Toronto Huskies. Lamar Jackson, and they're in business right now. Yeah, how about as Week 17 is quickly approaching, there's not many primetime games. In fact, I think there's only a Thursday night game, so we pretty much get to make the call whether we do 3, 4, 5, 6 games. I think the games that all have playoff implications are the ones we're going to do. And then the playoffs will be here, and we're going to do the end of Season 1 before we know it. Now, I didn't realize this until I looked back at the calendar, but Season 1 took us about 2 years to complete. So when we do Season 2, which we're going to do it on the same game here, Madden 20, when we do Season 2, I want to come up with some ideas where it's going to be a reduced schedule, so it'll kind of be up to you guys if you like that idea or not. But I want to try to get through a Season 2 a little quicker than another 2 years, because we can't keep doing 2-year seasons. So I kind of have an idea laid out for how we're going to do Season 2, where we can get through the regular season a little quicker. And of course, I want your guys' feedback, whether you like that or not. Do you want a quicker regular season so you guys get more seasons, or do you like seeing 5 games a week in the regular season? Otto Graham, oh my goodness, tried to thread the needle in there. Incomplete, was looking for Chris Cooley. So quickly, a 3rd and 9, and with the Huskies heating up here, the Redwoods can't really afford to slack off. Now, Otto Graham, oh my goodness, Otto Graham had a wide open Warfield, and that may have been the most underthrown pass I've seen. Holy smokes, what happened there? There wasn't no tip drill. What tip drill? Unless it got tipped at the line. That was an underthrow.
Not just one tip, but multiple tips, just in case the ball stays in the air for a while, to have an awareness and the ability to go up and grab it, and then you want to get some blocking support and end up in the opposite end zone. In that tip drill, what do you yell? For us, it was Oski. Okay, Oski was an interception. Different teams. Different teams have different ways of doing it. I've heard.
I don't know what happened there.
The worst I ever heard, though, was Frankenstein. You don't want it to be a three-syllable word. You want to get it right down.
Well, either way, Walls had the pick 6, but it wasn't no tip drill. I tell you that much.
And the lead now up to 14. So the defense creating some points, not only getting the interception, but then returning it to the end zone for the pick 6.
It was a pick 6, and that's going to be the second pick 6 of this ball game as well. So, boy, the Redwoods, who again at one point were 8-2, and they're now 8-6. They're looking like the Chicago Wolverines almost. These two teams that have just had epic collapses here, and we're on the verge of another epic collapse.
So here are visitors to take over on offense, and they gave up the pick 6, and now they'll be looking to right the ship here. Now, as a quarterback, are you a little more cautious this go around?
You should be.
This is going to be one of the worst off games that Otto Graham has had. I'm not sure if we've looked at his backup before, because he's usually been, I mean, he's been pretty on fire this season. It's Doug Williams. I think we have seen Doug Williams before, maybe just in relief of a blowout, but I mean, you got a Super Bowl winning quarterback right there in Doug Williams. I think a Hall of Famer too is right. Graham, though, oh my goodness, those crossing routes are kind of dangerous, as Randy Moss kind of nearly got into a rough way.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10.
Running game, Saquon Barkley, now he has the touchdown, but I think that's been part of the issue too, is the running game has not quite been there. And you see the numbers. I mean, it hasn't been there at all. All those carries and just 14 yards, and that's part of the reason that Otto Graham, they're able to kind of maybe drop back and put that pressure on Graham, because they know that they can't run the ball right now. And there we go, Otto Graham. This time he gets it to Warfield on a fantastic throw. Only 6 of 15 right now for the Sacramento Redwoods. That can't happen.
So on the other side of the field now, it's 1st and 10 as they've got things rolling on this drive.
It can't. I mean, it can happen, but if you want to get to the playoffs, that can't happen. The give is to Saquon Barkley, and he's driven backwards right there. So the struggles continue right now for Mr. Barkley, and the Redwoods might be watching their playoff hopes slip away, as they had this division on wrap, and down goes Otto Graham, C.J. Mosley. It is going the wrong way right now for the Redwoods. And the Kiss, the LA Kiss, who won the division, they won 3 in a row. The Redwoods are looking at their 5th loss, and it all started on Thanksgiving. That was it. Graham's going to try it again here, and Randy Moss for the touchdown. That's what you expect out of Randy Moss. Throw it up. Moss makes the grab. He mossed him. Touchdown. And the Redwoods are still in this thing, folks. They are not out of it yet. Holy smokes. That was a classic Randy Moss type play. Who was that he mossed? Is that 42? 43? 43 is Marcus Williams. Wow. Yeah, the Redwoods were cruising, and it all came, kind of that turning point was Thanksgiving. We streamed the Thanksgiving games here with you. The game against the Salt Lake City Elks, and that's kind of where it started to go not so good for the Sacramento Redwoods in that regard. But they're in this now. That Randy Moss got them in there, and now they're going to be tasked with trying to hold up Lamar Jackson. 7-point game here in Toronto. Jackson to throw it on 1st down. Pressure coming. Jackson. Oh my goodness. I think he was, I don't know what happened there. I think Lamar Jackson was looking for Akeem Nicks, which was number 88, and somehow there's the miscommunication.
Certainly not at a premium here. Here's 2nd and 10.
Jackson to throw it once again. He's on the move and incomplete. So all of a sudden, it's third down. Third and 10 for the Huskies. Here comes the pressure. Jackson rolls out, and Anquan Bolden. An absolute rare drop from Anquan Bolden. Are you kidding me? Oh my God. I know there was a little bit of pressure coming from the back of Jack Butler. But no, that was a... Yeah, that was just... My goodness, that was a rare drop from Anquan Bolden. You are not going to see that happen very much. And now, this is it, folks. A touchdown away from forcing some overtime. Saquon Barkley still not having a good performance. It's Clyde Simmons down there. Graham's got to feel frustrated. It's just hard to get this thing moving. They're going to try the screen, and this is going to get Barkley going. This is the best out of Barkley. He hits the spin move. Barkley's on his feet down the sidelines. What a play on the screen. Saquon Barkley, touchdown. And we're an extra point away from this one being tied. How about the comeback here? Saquon Barkley, Randy Moss. Of course, you got your leader, Otto Graham. Extra point is good, and we are tied at 28 in a huge battle for the playoffs right now. This is what it comes down to, folks. Wow, this is going to be good. Make it or break it time.
So here is the home side to take over on offense. And a tight game after
100 more yards total here for the Huskies. Alvin Kamara with the give. I'd say Billy Sims is kind of doing a little better than Kamara right now. Maybe he's still suffering from those cramps. Play fake. Jackson is brought down. Marlon Humphrey, who had the pick six earlier. And this Redwood defense now starting to put the pressure on the Huskies. Jackson. Wide open, and there's Anquan Bolden. No drop that time. First down, Toronto. Big first down for the Huskies there. A war of attrition between these two teams. Jackson. Yeah, it's completed to Bolden. 272 they're going to give to Lamar Jackson in this one so far. Alvin Kamara outside. The black and blue of the Toronto Huskies.
Second and two is prime time for a little bit of a gamble, isn't it? Open up the playbook, go play action, toss that bad boy deep. But in this situation, go ahead and give it to your back. Let him pick up a first down. Keep the sticks moving.
Jackson, he is going to take off. And there is nothing but green and a black and blue end zone in front of him. Touchdown, Toronto.
Jackson, 40 yards, as his guys have now moved out in front. And maybe the defense got so caught up in him throwing the football, they forgot he can take off too.
And you often hear about the quarterback being the unaccounted for guy.
My goodness, Lamar Jackson.
As a runner, and
extra point splits the uprights, and they will take a 7-point lead. A drive that time of 6 plays, and it was capped off by the touchdown run that came from Lamar Jackson.
35-28. Remember when this game started? It was 0-0, if you guys remember the first half. It was a low-scoring battle. And it has perked up here down the stretch without question.
The offense takes the field, and we turn our attention to Saquon Barkley. He's had a good performance, moved the ball effectively on the ground. Of course, he has the 1 touchdown.
And when you're able to move it as effectively as you've described, that leads to finding a way into the end zone, and now he's just trying to do it for a second time.
Chris Cooley can't reel that one in. It's incomplete.
Looking for additional yardage, and again, that second score here in the 3rd quarter. First play,
We haven't even hit the 4th quarter yet, folks. This is going to be big business down the stretch, I can assure you.
9 yards on the pickup there as they'll be left.
9-yard carry for Saquon. And we probably got 1 or 2 more plays here in the quarter before this one comes to a close here. And Barkley, are they going to give him the first down? They will. So we head into the 4th with it being anybody's game. Huskies 35, Redwoods 28. Postseason playoffs on the line. Huskies battling for a division title. The Redwoods battling for a wild card spot. Both teams come into this one 8-6. Otto Graham incomplete. That's the second time he's looked for Chris Cooley and has not been able to make it happen. Out of the gun, Graham. He's got Randy Moss single coverage, and Randy Moss does it again. How many yards was that?
Second half looks like they just wanted to find a way to get it in the hands of their playmaker, and they did.
They just one-on-one, and Otto Graham said, you know what? I trust Randy Moss. And Moss has mossed a couple of guys in this ball game here today.
People plays, not necessarily X's and O's, and that's exactly what they did there.
Randy Moss putting on a show. We're getting deep into quarter number 4. Saquon Barkley looking for his 2nd touchdown of the game. And, yeah, he gets bottled up right there by Randy White. 2nd and goal. They got 3 plays to punch it in. Graham. Oh, I think Graham had something. No, he's just going to hang on to it and decide to eat the sack. Boy, Graham did not pull the trigger. This is, I mean, touchdown territory, right? Graham pressured to Randy Moss, touchdown! Oh my goodness, at the last minute, Otto Graham got beheaded, and he said, you know what, I see 84 out of my periffs. I'm just going to heave it up and see what happens, and it was a touchdown. This Week 16 has been incredible. Look at some of the scores at the bottom of your screen. This has been a good week of football, and this is to qualify for the postseason. Imagine what happens when we get into the postseason, what some of these games are going to look like. 35-35 here. And Otto Graham, who struggled in the first half, has turned it on in the second half. He's had some big-time plays.
And as this offense makes their way back out, it's AFC playoff race time as we give you a look. And with the final fortnight of games upon us, teams jockeying for position. Some of these games really starting to take enormous importance as they always do this time of year.
I like how you use fortnight.
Oh, you're impressed, aren't you?
I am impressed. That means 2 weeks, if I'm not mistaken, correct?
Play fake Jackson. Oh, he maybe should have handed that one off. Boy, that one was red, and they came in and just drilled Jackson.
Quick and in a hurry. Suddenly, he was there.
Credit this front line, these linebackers of the Redwoods. They've really put some heat on Lamar Jackson. Anquan Bolden, he's been going toe-to-toe with Randy Moss in this one. And where else but the RXFL are you going to see a quarterback duel of eras like Lamar Jackson and Otto Graham? Nowhere else but the RXFL. Jackson again is going to get taken down.
This has been a tough one for this offensive line.
Ricky Jackson.
Roller skates this entire game. The way they've been pushed.
And you see Lamar Jackson kind of saw it at the last minute, but he couldn't get out of the way. So this kind of is eliminating Alvin Kamara in this running game from the Huskies. Lamar finally gets rid of it, and Hakeem, no, it just jars loose, incomplete. So it's going to be 3rd and a long 18 here. Boy, they got to get into Redwood territory to come close to a first down. Jackson. Here comes pressure. He's going to run it. He's got a block. And Lamar Jackson is out of bounds at the 26. What a run by Lamar Jackson.
Yardage there on the scramble. It gets him a first down. Not only another first down, that also puts him over 100 yards rushing.
That's not something you see very often in the NFL. We see it more in college. But I think with
In this quarter, in this second half, in this episode, it's basically who's going to break first, because both teams are hitting. Oh, that was almost it. It's like this is almost an arena football game or a Big 12 game. Remember the Big 12 era? Remember when they would get like 60 points a game? This is it's going to be who's going to break first. Jackson. Boy, those rollout passes for Jackson are just almost perfection.
Taking it inside the 10, just shy of the 5 at the 6. An excellent pickup of 20 yards.
You almost got to try to, at some point, who's going to start working down the clock? Because it's either going to be who scores last or who leaves enough time on the clock. Now, if you're Toronto, I don't think you're in a spot to waste a lot of time. Because if they score, you want some time to get the ball back. So I think you still try to punch it in here. Well, these goal line situations are always really tough to come by in this game. 35-35, 5 minutes to go. Jackson was looking for Anquan Bolden, incomplete. And I think you got to take the field goal. You got to take the points here and take the lead. Now, I'm not going to do my peripherals here because it hasn't been working. So I'm just going to take the free. And this should be a gimme anyway. Blanda. George Blanda. Remember that picture they showed? Wasn't it the picture of him and Brady? And they were both the same age, and Brady was in fantastic shape, and it looked like George Blanda had smoked like 10 packs. You remember? Look at the Blanda. It's the Blanda. I'm gonna Google it right now. I think it was Blanda and Brady.
As his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. So here are visitors.
Yeah, there's the picture. There's a picture. They're both 43, and it's a picture of Tom Brady next to George Blanda. Google it right now. Brandon Brady. Blanda, and Brady. And the tweets are just fantastic. Like, everyone loves the picture of the two. So anyway, the great George Blanda there. And Otto Graham, he wants Randy Moss again, and that time it does not work out for him.
Trying to give his man room to run under it, but it's second down.
Finally, a good play there defensively on the deep ball. The secondary has had its struggles this entire game. Offensively, they've had their way.
So it's interesting. Huskies, or I should say the Redwoods, they're continuing to throw the ball. I mean, they got to get the 3, maybe a touchdown, but... And Warfield, who they've had some issues connecting Otto Graham and Warfield. How about only 11 completed passes for Otto Graham in this game? And he's got almost 400 yards through the air. Back to the passing game here. Graham hooks up with Morgan.
5 yards on the catch there, brings up second down.
Stanley Morgan.
You're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation,
still lining up in the gun here. And Graham. That one was dangerous. And maybe they just don't have the confidence right now in Saquon Barkley. I mean, he had the big screen pass touchdown, right, earlier? But the running game hasn't been there. Graham dancing around. And there's another catch by Stanley Morgan. And now, if you're the Redwoods, I think you try to drain this clock down. Now, Madden's saying just throw the ball. But you're in field goal range. So you try to drain some of the clock down, you would think, in my head. Either you try to score quickly and give Toronto the ball, thinking they're going to score and give it back, or you try to drain as much of the clock. Maybe you hit that game-winning touchdown, or you at least just give Toronto the ball with very little time left on the clock. And that one will take us to the 2-minute warning, so we'll see. Now, it is dangerous ball here to play super conservative at this point. You have been moving the ball well through the air, and it looked like they did just change the play because Otto Graham saw something he liked with Randy Moss. So 2-minute warning, and it's 3rd and 1, and I think it's got to be a give to Saquon. And it is, and Barkley gets it for him. Huskies take a timeout, so we're playing chess now down the stretch here in this one. Again, they can still stop it twice. Now you play conservative. Well, Barkley might just wipe that out. I was going to say you play conservative right now if you're the Redwoods. If you get a first down, you're in a good spot. If you don't, you can at least wind the clock down some 40-some-odd seconds. Pump fake, give to Barkley, and the Huskies are going to take their last time out here. So now you can either run it and go for the tie, and they're draining the clock, take a shot at the end zone here. And that's the thing. It's you know, you're playing for overtime versus playing for the win. Let's see what happens here. Otto Graham, touchdown. Stanley Morgan, and the Huskies are going to get the ball back. What a game this has been. This has been one of the... And it started slow. It started off slow, right? It was a defensive battle. Not to say it was bad, but it was a defensive battle. The Huskies are going to get the ball. 1:37, Lamar Jackson, no timeouts. And a victory here if this one holds up. And I give a lot of credit to... I mean, Toronto's played hard, but Sacramento, who was on a 4-game losing streak, they were down 14 at one point. They fought their way back into this, and Otto Graham, who had probably one of the worst passes I've ever seen of a legendary quarterback, bounced back, has had a fantastic second half, and has his team in position where a victory here may just put them in that wild card berth. Where the Huskies, with a loss here, that really opens up the door for that division for the taking. The division is not wrapped up yet if you're the Huskies. And Lamar Jackson wide open is Anquan Bolden. Are you kidding me? Driven out of bounds by Rod Woodson. Woodson lost his man. Oh my goodness, this is going to go down in the books. This is going to be one of the legendary RXFL games of all time. And maybe we see both these teams match up in the postseason again. They could both qualify for the American Championship in the playoffs. Jackson, oh, he had a man. He takes it himself, and the Huskies regain the lead, and this arena football-like shootout continues. This is unbelievable, and now Sacramento gets the ball back with a minute and some change, and they have all their timeouts. And a field goal would tie it. So they don't necessarily need the touchdown. Could this game possibly continue? And then it would be a shame because, of course, for reason. And if it was my rules, and when we were playing in 2K8, we did college rules. But the game would come down to a field goal or to overtime. Which, if I had my way, which I may change it. We haven't been doing it all year, but I think some way to make it fair, rather than make it a coin toss, is it should always be up to the home team rather than to start on defense or get the ball first. The home team, I think, kind of like in baseball where the home team always goes second, I think that would at least kind of alleviate the randomness of the coin toss. If you're the Redwoods, you know, hey, if we go into overtime, the home team gets that first shot. Randy Moss takes it. He is out of bounds. So maybe when we go into season 2, that's something we can control. Because in the coin toss, whether it's, heads or tails, we can control the home team making that decision. And basically, I would think the home team would always decide to get the ball first. Graham, who has had a fantastic... Now, he has not been able to get on the same page with Cooley here in the second half. They just have to get into field goal range here. Otto Graham, a dangerous throw there. Really wanted to get the ball in the hands of Randy Moss. And it's 3rd and 10. So for Sacramento, boy, oh boy, their opportunity is closing in on them. Randy Moss is there, and it's incomplete. A.J. Boye knocked it away. And ladies and gentlemen, 3 consecutive incompletions. It comes down to this for the Toronto Huskies and the Sacramento Redwoods. After all this offense, could it come down to defense? Graham goes deep. It's tipped. It's intercepted by C.J. Mosley. Now, the Redwoods have all their timeouts. Oh my goodness, but that could not have gone more poorly. That could not have gone more poorly for the Redwoods. I mean, twice they tried to get it to Randy Moss. Oh my goodness, that hurts if you're a Redwoods fan. And the Redwoods nearly ended the losing streak, but they still have the 3 timeouts, so it is not done yet. Oh my goodness, guys. 1 first down clinches it, though. Alvin Kamara takes it. And, oh, that's going to stop the clock. Now, he had muscle cramps earlier. So that's a free clock stop right now. That's going to help in a big way. So Billy Sims comes in, who arguably has been performing a whole lot better than Alvin Kamara has so far in this game. They got an offensive lineman going in here, and Billy Sims just gets lit up, and there's your timeout called. So now you got to think, do you play conservative? Ooh, an ACL sprain. That hurts with the postseason on the horizon. Do you play conservative, or do you allow Lamar Jackson, who's run the ball pretty well, to try to do something here? Well, we're going to find out. Cannonball's in there, and they are going to have Lamar. Oh, no! I tried to juke. I tried to juke thinking I was beyond the line of scrimmage, and I wasn't. Oh my God, I thought I was past the line of scrimmage, so I hit the juke button, and apparently the juke button and the throw the ball out of bounds button is the same button. So with 2 timeouts and not a lot of time, the Redwoods, oh my God, and they just had to get into field goal range. 2 epic offensive collapses for both teams here at the end of this ball game. Between the Redwoods and the Huskies, and they just have to get into field goal range. Graham's just going to go for Randy Moss. Oh my, no, he dropped it. Are you kidding? No. We thought we had seen it all when we saw Anquan Bolden drop the ball. We just saw Randy Moss drop a sure touchdown. This is going to be... Send this one to ESPN Classics right now. Was it even touched? No, I don't think it was. Maybe just a fingertip? How did he drop it? Did he just get too... Now, I would argue that he took a football move and possessed it. They're going to say incomplete. Now, this would be a touchback, so maybe you don't want that. But I would argue he caught it, made a football move, and then he just... What happened? It's like the shoelace got like he didn't even get hit in the he didn't even get touched. There's no touching. And Randy Moss loses the football. Oh my God, one of the most unfathomable, one of the most bizarre scenes you'll ever see in football is the drop pass by Randy Moss. Oh my God, 12 seconds left. Season on the line here. Otto Graham, and it was nearly intercepted with 8 seconds now. They just have to get into field goal range. Now the game wants a Hail Mary. I don't think we need a Hail Mary just yet. I'm gonna overrule John Madden on this one. You just need one solid pass, albeit a quick one, to get you into field goal range. Oh, and Cooley gets it, and the timeout is called. Cooley, who has not made any plays all day, makes this one, and we are going to go for overtime, folks. Now, the game says to go for it. We're in field goal range. Oh, no, it does say, okay, it does say kick the field goal. My bad. All right, here we go. It all comes down to this. This has been 2 40-minute episodes, guys. It comes down to the great Jim Bakken here, a 50-plus yarder to send this one into bonus action. And it is good, and we are going to overtime for the second time in Week 16. Look at where we were in the first quarter, 45-45. And this epic game is going to continue, but it's going to continue in part 3. So let's see. The Huskies pick tails. They win the toss. And I'm just going to let the computer do this. The Huskies will get the ball first. So either way, if we did our rules. Ladies and gentlemen, it is 45-45. You have seen an epic between Lamar Jackson and Otto Graham. Nearly 800 passing yards. 7 touchdowns between the two, and this is going to continue for the second time in Week 16. We are going to overtime. 45-45, two 8-6 teams battling for the playoffs. If you're watching on YouTube, this one will drop tomorrow, the overtime game. If you're watching live on Twitch, we're coming back in just a couple of minutes. Follow along with us on Twitch, twitch.tv/tvsports27. If you're on YouTube, hit the subscribe button and hit the thumbs up button if you want to see how this game concludes in overtime. And of course, check us out, patreon.com/TBSports27 if you want to get bonus videos, extra videos, early and ad-free. If you want to see the Dallas Desperados and the Philadelphia Benjamins, the only place you can see it is at patreon.com/TBSports27. Overtime coming your way tomorrow. TB Sports, wow, what an epic game.